Hello class. We are about to start the second week of this semester, and well, this is an update video for October 28th, which is the first day of the second week of this course. The first comment that I would like to make is regarding the test route. Okay, so I know that many of you have purchased the access code through the online Lone Star Bookstore. And well, probably you were facing some delay, so you haven't received the access code. We have been in communication with the bookstore, and we know that they are doing all the necessary effort in order to make sure that you guys are going to receive this as soon as possible. Okay, that is an issue that has been escalated to the proper authorities, and they are taking care of that. So my suggestion is if you have purchased that the access code through the Lone Star Bookstore and you haven't received yet the access code, okay, so use the free trial that is offered by Pearson, by the provider. Okay, this free trial's license lasts for 2 weeks, so I think that it's gonna be enough time to receive your access code from the bookstore. But in the meantime, you're going to be using this free license, and in that way you are not going to have any delays in the assignments that are already running, okay, in MyLabMap. So that's what I want you guys to take into account. Please consider that for those of you that haven't received yet the license or the access code from the bookstore, in the case that you purchase the access code over there, please try to watch the videos that I submit or that I post in the Start Here module, and from there you can receive, you're gonna have instructions on how to get the options of the free trial license from Pearson's, and use that one in the meantime. Okay, that is gonna last for 2 weeks, and hopefully that is gonna be enough time in order to cover you before getting the corresponding access code from the bookstore. That is the first comment that I want to make in here. In this update. This is very important, guys. So we need to start working in the assignments. We submit one already that is going to be due on Wednesday this week, which is October 30. But today, Monday, October 28, is already assigned another one that you need to start working on that. Okay, so let me go with our outline just to refresh what we cover and what we're gonna do next during this week. Okay, so, well, the first thing, please, on Wednesday, October 30, okay, please make sure to submit the ODR assignment that is posted in the Start Here module. Okay, it's at the bottom of that module. Make sure to submit that one. That is extremely important. Otherwise, if you don't submit that assignment, you will be dropped from the course, and you don't want that happens to you, to any one of you. Okay, so that's the first comment that I want to make. So what we cover during the first week, that is still running because I'm giving to you the time up to October 30 to submit the assignment. So we start working with the first 3 sections of chapter 2, which is the fundamentals about sets. Okay, so in the last part of this one of section 2.3, you were introduced with a graphical representation of sets that are called the Venn diagrams, and you start to review operation between sets that are represented in that way. What are those operations? Well, what is the complement? What is the union of two sets? What is the intersection? What is the complement of the intersection? Those are basically the operations: union, intersection, and complement. Okay? Now, in the first part of this week, let's say from today, Monday, all the way down to the half of the week between Wednesday and Thursday, okay, we are going to finish sections 2.4, 2.5 to finish chapter number 2. And then introduce one of the most larger chapter in this course, which is chapter number 3 about logic, all what have to do with logic. But we are still running with chapter number 2, sections 2.4 and 2.5. That's what we're gonna cover this week. So set your mind to be working with sections 2.4 and 2.5, and we're gonna go in more detail in this video about those 2 sections. Then, starting on Wednesday or Thursday, so be set to switch or making the transition to chapter number 3, okay, which is logic. Okay, is this chapter 100% divorced from this one, the next one, chapter number 3? I'm going to say that that is not the case. So you're gonna see that in here, in sections 2.4, that you're gonna be dealing with 3 sets. There is something that is called the Morgan's Law. And Morgan's Law is something that you are going to use in the chapter of logic. So it's not really totally divorced. There are some relationships and there are some applications that you can make from chapter 2 into the chapter that has to do with logic. And well, this is what we're going to cover during this week. Section 2.4, 2.5, 3.1, and 3.2. Now, these 4 sections are going to be split between 2 modules because logic is going to be another module. It's going to be module number 2. Okay, so let's go to there. And let me get out from here. Now we're going to go to tables of contents. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, this is my view. Okay, so in here, you're going to see more than what you actually are going to see in D12. But let's go to module number 1. Module number 1, okay, this is homework number 1, quiz number 1, that have to do with sections 2.1 to 2.3. You already know that. Okay, and then in module number 1 this week, we're going to start working with section 2.4 and 2.5. Okay, so you have here, you can see again the pattern. Okay, you have the lectures, then you have the lecture notes. I include something here that are the questionnaire. So eventually in my modules, you're gonna see a questionnaire. Questionnaire is something very similar like a homework. Of course, you don't need to tell that to me, but it's very similar to a homework with several exercises for all the sections that we are dealing with. This is like a preparation for your sectional test, okay? So in here you have the questionnaire, and probably you're gonna ask me, oh, about the keys for the questionnaire. Well, the keys is gonna be here in these suggested videos. You see that we have suggested videos and suggested video from Pearson. Well, in here, suggested videos from section 2.4 and 5, those are videos from my side. I comment or I break down some of the exercises of the questionnaire. You can see here that you have a link, which is a video for this one, in which I break down the solution of some of the exercise from here. Okay? But there are another videos in here that have to do with operation with 3 sets, application, and application of Morgan's law. So please try to pay attention to those one, because in those one you're gonna have exercises that are close related to this part of section 2.4 and 2.5, especially in section 2.5, in which you guys are going to cover something that is called surveys. Okay? Those are practical situations in which we use sets to resolve that particular situation. Let me open here, for instance, this document. So let me see, I was here. Yes, for instance, this one. In here you say, in a survey, those are the kind of things that I was talking to you, that is section 2.5, okay? In a survey is a situation. For instance, in this exercise, the situation was 250 students, 80 were taking mathematics, 70 were taking psychology. And then they make questions about that. So the point is that you're going to be able to use what you learn about sets. Look at here that you have a Venn diagram representation of sets, but you have 3 sets. Instead of 2, now you're going to have 3. Then you're going to use whatever you learn about the operations with sets. So how to use, for instance, how to compute the complement of a union. This is the Morgan's law, okay? Or the complement of an intersection, things like that. Well, you're going to use all this theory in order to solve exercise like this. This is what is called survey. So please pay attention to those ones. Those are very important, because for sure in your test, you're going to have a question that has to do with surveys, okay? So that's why I'm telling to you in advance these kind of things, okay? So please look at here, try to spend some time, is my suggestion. Of course, those are suggested videos, are not mandatory, but I strongly suggest you guys to spend some time and watch at least some of them. Okay, well, this is something that I want to tell you about section 2.4 and 2.5. Okay, so now, according with our schedule, we're going to cover this week, the first half of the week is going to be section 2.4 and 2.5. So we're going to finish chapter number 2. And then the second half of the quiz, we're going to be talking about logic. Okay, logic is a new module. Module 1 is chapter 2. Now, logic is another module that is this one here. Module number 2 is this one here. So this module is already available for you guys. Okay, and we're gonna cover all of these. All of these are sections 3.1 all the way down to the final one, which is sections 3.7. Okay, and we're gonna split all these chapters in almost 2 weeks. So we're gonna be dealing this week and the week ahead, and probably some part of the other week, of the other next week. So we're gonna be dealing with chapter number 3 in a period of time of 2 weeks or 2 weeks and a half starting today. So what we're gonna cover this week? We're gonna cover section 3.1 and section 3.2. Okay, section 3.1 is really very easy section about logic. The first things that you are going to learn is the concept of a statement. What is a statement? Okay, and I can tell you in advance in this update, a statement is something that can be true or can be false. Okay, but you need to distinguish a statement from an opinion. When you have an opinion, I think that this tree is green, that is not a statement, because that is an opinion. You cannot say that is true, or you cannot say that is false. Or for instance, you are going to say, for instance, well, the next government or state, during this next election, some particular party is going to win the election. That is not a statement, because might be true or might be false. We cannot establish. It's an opinion. Or I think that the best president of United States is, I don't know, Vladimir Putin. That is not a statement. That is an opinion. Actually, we know that that is not true. Okay? So, but when it's something that you cannot say that is true or not, okay? So we are talking about something that is not a statement. So you're going to review that concept in the first part of chapter number 3, which is about logic. Then you are going to be introduced with some single statements. You're going to review that in all this material. And then is coming something that is called the quantifier statement. In the quantifier statements, that is something that I want you guys to pay attention, because quantifier statements sometimes are a little bit confusing. Okay? And then I'm going to ask you to pay more attention of that and review with more detail. So what is the instructional material that we're going to have for that? As you can see, you have the lectures, okay, for section 1, then for section 3.2, and actually I include 3.3, but during this week, you don't have to do anything about 3.3. Skip that one, okay? Then I have here suggested videos from Pearson for section 3.1 and 3.2. I gave you, okay, a list in here. So let me open that list for you. Okay, so you have some video for section 3.1 and also for section 3.2 from your textbook, but in here I also suggest 2 more videos. Those videos are in YouTube, okay, from a third party, in which they details a little bit more about quantified statements. So I strongly suggest you guys to review these videos. Those videos are very important. So please try to check those ones. Okay? So what else? I want to tell you? Well, then, after the suggested videos, you will have the lecture notes. As usual, lecture notes for section 3.1, 3.2. You have the keys. You know what you need to do because I explained that already. And also includes a questionnaire. You're going to see eventually questionnaires. So in here you have questionnaire, take advantage of that. So you have the questionnaire, you have the keys, and there are here suggested videos from my side. Okay? So those videos, what are those videos? Well, from the notes of section 1 and section 2, which are these notes that you see here, lecture notes, well, I make a couple of videos in which I go with a breakdown of the solutions. And then there are another videos from my side in which I discuss the solution from questionnaire number 1 for those type of statements that are called compound statements. So please pay attention to those ones. Now, beneath to those ones, you're going to find again the hyperlinks for the homework. Remember, for this week, we have homeworks that cover section 2.4, 2.5, 3.1, and 3.2. So you have here the hyperlinks for those homeworks. So section 2.4 and 2.5 are together in one homework with section 3.1 and 3.2. So I decided to include the hyperlink for those one in module number 2. So please, for those exercise that still have to do with chapter number 2, but section 2.4 and 2.5, they're going to reside, the hyperlinks are going to reside here in module number 2. Okay? Well, this is what we're going to cover during this week. Please pay attention to that. If you have any question, let me know as soon as you have the question, because this is a very important portion of logic, and I want to make sure that all of you guys are going to understand, are going to have a very good comprehension of the fundamental of logic. Okay? That is, I'm not going to say that it's a difficult chapter, but it's a little bit more challenging. Okay? So, well, this is what I want to tell you in this update. And well, for all these sections, you can see that all those sections I have to you guys, because that is going to be covered during the next week. We are not going to pay attention to that yet. Okay? So, remember to submit the ODR assignment on Wednesday, and also to have already your registration, because I want everybody to be working with the MyLabMap assignments that has been posted already. Okay? Have a good day. Bye-bye.